All right. So, Mike, the NFL preseason kicks off tonight and continues for next couple of weeks. And I'm excited for football. I know you're very excited for football, football being your favorite sport, probably.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
along with NASCAR, they go hand in hand.
yeah, yeah. Um, I've fallen off from football a little bit recently, but I'm excited to get back into it. Hopefully, my Giants can, move it above maybe some other sports in my mind. But we'll see. Anyway, the preseason starts, and what are you looking for? Give me three things that you're looking forward to this preseason.
Three things. Well, I got one major thing
Okay.
to see. I'll give you three things eventually. But the main thing I'm looking for is for the teams that are kind of experiencing with their lineups and who's on their roster and who's going to be starting week one to see
Okay.
kind of, how things play out. Like there's several teams that I got down here. I got four main teams. The Steelers on defense. They're kind of moving people around. They got Melvin Ingram now. And I think you mentioned he's not expected to start.
No.
So to see how that works, and obviously Melvin Ingram, a guy who you would want on the playing field, especially if you have him. The Bears. The Bears have three quarterbacks to decide from. They have Nick Foles, they have Andy Dalton, who they picked up from the Cowboys, and they have Justin Fields, who they drafted. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. They got 4 weeks or 4 games to kind of see who's the best fit for week one. The 49ers, who drafted Trey Lance, and they have Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo, very good when he starts for the 49ers. However, he's hurt all the time. So that's why they've struggled. And finally, the Patriots. Cam Newton, kind of on the hot seat. Mac Jones gets drafted. We don't know what the future holds there. But again, 4 games to try to see what we got going on. So that's the main thing I'm looking forward to, or looking for when I'm watching these preseason games. Um, other than that, see kind of some new connections with like say Julio Jones
Yeah.
and Ryan Tannehill.
Mhm.
I mean, you got some weapons. Obviously, the main starter is only going to play a drive or two, but yeah.
Well, what are you most looking forward to for your Kansas City Chiefs?
From my Kansas City Chiefs,
Yes.
if Mahomes can still throw the ball and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill could still catch the ball, I think we're in a good position going into the season.
So you have nothing. You wonder nothing.
No, I mean
That offensive line, maybe.
yes. Before you were going to say that, I was just going to go right back to the offensive line. The offensive line has some pretty big names now, and they kind of move them all over the place. They got Joe Thuney from the Pats. I think he was on the Pats. Orlando Brown of the Ravens,
Yep.
and they drafted a couple young guys. So hopefully, instead of using 2 weeks before the Super Bowl to move around your starting lineup or your offensive line, hopefully they can use this training camp and these preseason to actually kind of solidify it and just hope these guys don't get hurt because the Chiefs will be in the playoffs.
Yes.
I can put okay. If Patrick Mahomes is healthy until week 8, the Chiefs will make the playoffs. If he gets hurt, they will make the playoffs, but they'll probably be a 1-0.
That's a solid prediction.
That's my prediction. You heard it here first on Here's the Thing Sports. Like and subscribe.
Well, what I'm looking forward to this NFL season is the return of Saquon Barkley. How good is he going to be? How will he affect the team? Will he come back full strength? Will they limit him in any way? He makes Daniel Jones better. This is suggested by statistics. When Saquon Barkley is on the field, Daniel Jones has 20 plus touchdowns and around like 10 interceptions. When Saquon Barkley is off the field, Daniel Jones has 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and less than 200 passing yards. Daniel Jones needs that guy to fake the defense out because if he doesn't, defenses just go, oh yeah, we're just going to tee off on him because they have nothing else to worry about. They don't have to worry about the backup guy. They have to worry about Saquon. And when he's gone, all you have to worry about is the quarterback. And guys have figured him out. This is Daniel Jones' make or break year. And they rushed him into it. And they put a lot of pressure on this guy. They picked him 6th, which sent the world ablaze. So I'll see how Saquon does, see how he affects Daniel Jones. And they've put all the things around him. They have Josh Allen, Daniel Jones. They've given him everything. Let's see if he can bring it to the next level. The other thing I'm looking for is Jordan Love. He's going to be taking a lot of reps for the Packers in the preseason. Does this give them some confidence about him? Or do they start to think, okay, we really need to keep Aaron however we can for next season because Jordan Love is just not it?
So other than that, just the Jordan Love and Saquon, league-wise, what do you think? I know I mentioned a few teams that kind of have some situations going on that we're not sure about for next season. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's going to be a really interesting season. I think it's going to be a lot of shakeups. Honestly, I think this is one of the more curious seasons that we've seen in our lifetime. There are so many rookie quarterbacks who have a shot at starting, which is not a thing that used to happen. This is much more of a modern thing. But league-wide, what I'm looking at is honestly just the development of players now with a full offseason program. Last year, there was no preseason. There was very little offseason because of the virus. This year, they've gone full-fledged. They've gone everything. I want to see how guys react to a full offseason and not as many restrictions and a preseason and 17 games. I'm excited to see, more stats, better football, less sloppy play, more cohesive teams, and I want to see, what teams can stand the test of time.
You mentioned rookie quarterbacks and quarterbacks in general. Quarterbacks have been all over the place during the offseason. More than half of the teams in the league are going to have a new starting quarterback for within the first 5 weeks of their team. If, again, like Cam Newton and Mac Jones might start by week 5. But again, that's another a shakeup. And you have Carson Wentz that went to the Colts, and now he's hurt. Jalen Hurts going to be starting for the Eagles. The trade with Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. Those two just switched teams. You got the uncertainty of Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Now I think Aaron Rodgers is obviously going to start all 16 or 17 games, but there's just also always that uncertainty of what if.
Yeah, and I think that honestly, probably the most compelling quarterback in this league that isn't a rookie is Matthew Stafford, because Louis Riddick said it today on Get Up on ESPN. The Los Angeles Rams were so good that they made Jared Goff look as good as he did. But people are acting like Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff is an even trade. It is not. Matthew Stafford is statistically and experientially better than Jared Goff. And Jared Goff brought them to a Super Bowl. So I'm excited to see what Matthew Stafford can do, because Matthew Stafford has been an elite fourth quarter comeback type guy, give me the ball, Hall of Fame maybe player in Detroit with very little. He had Calvin Johnson for the beginning of his career, Calvin Johnson, Hall of Famer, this weekend. But he had very little the last couple of years. Now he has weapons. He's got Robert Woods. He's got Cooper Kupp. All right, and he's got a better defense. So I want to see how that plays out.
I mentioned that I'm a big fan of Matthew Stafford and excited what he can do in Los Angeles, because I put him in my top 10 of top quarterbacks because, like you said, statistically, he's better than Jared Goff. And he played for the Lions his whole career. It's now the Lions have had a couple good receivers, but they never had a good running back. They've always struggled with finding a running back. The receivers, they're mediocre, not your star receivers that you'd see. And the Rams have established receivers with Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. They have a couple good tight ends, and Matthew Stafford can really spread the ball around, and they got a good running back. So it's going to be way, way better. I don't know if it's going to be easier because the division is very tough out there in the NFC West, but
But it's also Los Angeles versus Detroit. Like, I would not be surprised if you see Jared Goff just kind of drift off into irrelevance
mm,
because people are now paying attention to Los Angeles as a football town. And Detroit has just been lackluster for decades. So it's really Matthew Stafford's career. He's going to have a beautiful second act here. He's really going to take off. He's going to get more media attention. He's going to get more national attention. And he's going to get more wins.
so basically what you're saying is we'll probably see the Lions drafting a quarterback next season.
I don't know about that because I don't even know what the Lions know if they want to do. Like, the best thing about the Lions is their coach, Dan Campbell. That guy is insane. He drinks 2 large coffees with 2 shots of espresso each every morning. He said that recently. That's the only really good thing about him. And I don't know what they're going to do in a draft. They've never really had to worry about a quarterback in the last, however many teens of years. So I think it can go anyway.
Another thing I'm excited to see season-wise for the NFL is what teams we kind of classify as the bottom tier. Sure, we can make some assumptions, like maybe the Jets, the Broncos, the Lions, maybe the Bears. But other than that, you're going to have either a league that's filled with a bunch of teams that can win games and lose games, like kind of middle of the pack teams, and maybe just a few outliers, maybe like the Bills, the Chiefs, the Bucks, those type of teams that are up on top record wise. But I'm interested to see like the bottom teams, the team that are maybe going to win only 2 to 4 games throughout the season. And I think that's all going to start out with who they have as their quarterback, their coaching, what their situation is. Like probably the Houston Texans, you could probably throw them in that bottom tier as well.
Yeah, I don't know about the Chicago Bears. I mean, I think they're a playoff team. I think they are a better team than some people are realizing. They have a good receiver in Allen Robinson. They have a good defense. They have Khalil Mack holding that down. They are a good team. If they have a bit of a quarterback controversy, that's good. That means people care. That means all the quarterbacks are going to buy in because they want to fight for that job. And each quarterback brings a fresh face and a different style of play. Justin Fields out of Ohio State, a little more mobile, strong arm, very young. Andy Dalton, not as mobile, but he's a good leader. He's been around for a while. He's a loyal guy. He stayed with the Bengals for a long time. He did well when Dak Prescott went down to Dallas, and here he's in Chicago. But I think, honestly, the Jaguars, they're going to have Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think he's going to do too much. I don't think that team is really going to be a worst first type deal. And the Jets, let's see if they can develop Zach Wilson properly because they ruined Sam Darnold. But that was because of coaching. And now they have a new coach in Robert Saleh from San Francisco. And I think that the Jets are going to be a better team.
Yeah, the whole Bears thing, I kind of just put them in that bottom because not really defending my answer here, but they with the quarterback controversy they had last year, they were kind of switching quarterbacks every other week between Trubisky and where is Trubisky, by the way?
He's a backup in Buffalo.
Ooh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Might throw him in a couple plays for that flea flicker that the guy dropped in the end zone in the playoff game. And
yeah.
But yeah, yes, the Bears made the playoffs last year, but I think it kind of restricted them with the quarterback switches they're making. They could have won way more games if they kind of stuck with one guy, I think. In my opinion. I'm no Bears fan. I don't know. Bears fans could probably tell me better, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's it for NFL talk.
Football's back. Football is back as of tonight. Preseason. Well, I had the Hall of Fame game last week, but what is the Hall of Fame game? Come on. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So
Anyway, yeah.
yeah.
So tune into the NFL, and we'll be more on the football talk in our episodes for the next couple months.
So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Ask us questions on our Instagram page or in the comment section. Make sure to like this video, comment. I said comment already. Just comment so that we could hear from you and we could have something to talk about for next week's episode. And like, subscribe, share the video, turn on those post notifications so you know exactly when videos like these show up on our channel. And that's about it. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next episode.